You ever notice how merging bank accounts is like the financial version of getting matching tattoos?
Yeah, it sounds romantic until someone forgets to tell you they spent your tattoo fund on a gaming chair.
Exactly. That's when love meets late fees. But seriously, it's one of the biggest questions couples face. Should you merge your money or keep your finances separate?
And it's not just about bills or budgeting. It's about trust, autonomy, power, and transparency. Studies show that merging accounts can actually strengthen relationships when it's done right.
But it can also backfire fast. Joint accounts can magnify control issues or turn one partner into the accidental CFO of the relationship.
Which is why more financial planners now recommend a hybrid system. One shared account for household expenses and individual accounts for personal spending. It's the modern-day what's mine, yours, and ours model.
So today we're diving deep into the love language of money, what merging your accounts really says about your relationship, and whether separate accounts are a sign of independence or mistrust.
I'm Lelaina Pierce.
And I'm Troy Dyer.
Welcome to The Love Divide.
All right, so before we start throwing around hot takes, what does the actual research say? Because people love to argue this one on vibes alone.
Yeah, and the vibes can be strong. You'll hear one couple say, if you don't share an account, you're not serious. And the next will say, if you do, you're just asking to get financially handcuffed.
Exactly. But the data is actually surprisingly balanced. Turns out there isn't one universal best system.
Right. According to the studies, what really matters isn't which type of account you pick, but how you manage it together. Communication quality, shared goals, and how fair the setup feels.
So it's not joint versus separate, it's how healthy is your money communication?
Exactly. The research shows that couples who talk about money regularly, honestly, end up happier regardless of account type.
But here's what's interesting. There's solid evidence that joint or hybrid systems actually encourage those conversations. Like, they kind of force transparency.
Yeah, because when both of your names are on the same debit card, you can't exactly forget to mention that impulse Amazon haul.
Or the mysterious $89 purchase at GameStop.
Hey, those controllers break easily. But seriously, one longitudinal study found that couples who combined finances actually improved their relationship quality over time compared to couples who kept things totally separate.
Because when you merge accounts, you're not just sharing money, you're sharing decisions. And that creates more dialogue, more accountability, and weirdly, more teamwork.
Right. It's like money becomes a shared project instead of a private scoreboard.
But here's what's important to remember. Before we make it sound like joint accounts are the holy grail, they also come with some serious risks.
Yeah, financial planners and relationship researchers both point out that joint accounts can amplify power imbalances. If one partner earns significantly more, or one person takes charge of paying all the bills, that control can start to feel unequal.
Exactly. Like, I make the money, so I decide how we spend it. That's not partnership. That's parenting.
That's when love turns into a performance review. Let's go over your spending behavior this quarter, honey.
And it's not just power. There's also legal risk. In a joint account, either person can withdraw all the money at any time. No permission needed.
Yeah, that's the part people forget. If things go south, that shared account can disappear overnight.
Which is why experts say if you're gonna merge, you better have trust and structure, like clear agreements on what it's for, who manages what, and regular check-ins.
That's what the CFPs, Certified Financial Planners, recommend, right? A governance system, almost like a couple's constitution.
Exactly. They even suggest written agreements, like household financial rules, just to keep expectations clean. Not romantic, but super practical.
Yeah, because money conflict is the biggest predictor of relationship stress. Some studies rank it above cheating in terms of long-term damage.
Oh, I believe that. People can survive a bad vacation. They don't always survive a hidden credit card.
And that's the other big finding. Financial secrecy destroys trust. Whether you're joint or separate, hiding money is poison.
There's even a term for it: financial infidelity. when one partner hides debt, secret accounts, or sneaky spending.
And it's way more common than people think. Surveys show something like 1 in 3 couples admit to it in some form.
So, merging isn't the cure. Transparency is. You can have separate accounts and still be totally transparent if you're honest about where the money's going.
That's such a key point because a lot of younger couples today, dual earners, no kids yet, prefer partial combining. They'll share for bills, but keep their own for autonomy.
Yeah, and that makes sense. The Federal Reserve data actually shows that. Older, married, or child-rearing couples are more likely to fully merge. Younger couples or those with 2 strong careers tend to go hybrid.
So basically the trend is merge when your lives merge, not before.
Yes, let your financial setup evolve with your relationship stage. Early dating, keep it separate. Moving in, maybe a shared household account. Married with kids, that's when merging can really streamline things.
You know what I love about that hybrid model? It kind of kills the power imbalance problem.
Totally! Because with a hybrid setup, you still get that shared sense of teamwork for joint goals, but you also keep autonomy. You can buy what you want without needing permission.
And it's flexible. Couples can choose whether to split that shared account equally or proportionally based on income.
Yeah, and that proportional model is huge for fairness. If one person earns double, they can contribute double without either partner feeling shortchanged.
That's how you avoid resentment, because resentment usually starts when one partner feels like they're subsidizing the other partner's lifestyle.
Or when someone feels micromanaged. I've had friends say, he checks every single charge, like I'm being audited.
Honey, why is there a $12 charge from Starbucks every day?
Because I'm keeping this relationship caffeinated.
Exactly. So, to sum up what the data tells us, joint accounts can improve relationship quality if they build more transparency and teamwork.
Many fights usually come from secrecy, not the structure itself. And the hybrid model seems to balance trust and autonomy better than either extreme.
In other words, it's not about the account, it's about the agreement.
Yeah, the account's just the tool. It's how you use it that defines your financial relationship.
And that's such a modern insight because we used to treat merging money as the ultimate symbol of commitment. Now it's more like a strategy to support the kind of relationship you want.
Exactly. It's not old-fashioned to merge, and it's not cold to stay separate. It's all about what system supports trust, fairness, and communication for you two.
Couldn't have said it better. But speaking of systems, up next, we're breaking down the 3 main models: fully merge, fully separate, and the hybrid setup. If you strip it down, there are really 3 big models: fully merged, fully separate, and the hybrid middle ground.
AKA one wallet, 2 wallets, or the couple who Venmos each other for Netflix.
Exactly. Let's start with the full merge, the one wallet approach, the classic joint account.
The old school, what's mine is yours move. It's simple, it's unified, and for some couples, it's kind of beautiful.
Yeah, it does make life easier. Bills are all in one place. You're not doing financial gymnastics at the end of every month trying to remember who paid for what.
Plus, it can actually reduce fees and simplify budgeting. And there's the psychological thing too. It signals unity. Like, we're a team, we're all in.
Right. Some research even says couples with joint accounts report higher relationship satisfaction on average. That's probably because it encourages collaboration.
But the downside? You lose financial privacy. Every dollar you spend is visible. There's no treat yourself purchase without an audience.
Yeah. What's this $47 at Sephora? It's emotional regulation, babe.
Exactly. And then there's legal exposure. Either partner can drain that account. No permission needed. If things go south, there's nothing stopping a full withdrawal.
Oof, that's a harsh reality check. So, this setup really works best for couples who already have deep trust and aligned spending habits.
And maybe also long-term marriages or one-income households, situations where financial unity actually makes sense.
Right, like if one partner manages the home and the other earns the income, a joint system feels fair.
But if both partners work and have very different money styles, that's when full merging can feel suffocating.
Exactly, which brings us to the other extreme, fully separate accounts.
This one's interesting because a lot of modern couples are leaning this way. They keep everything in their own name, income, savings, spending, and just split bills manually.
It definitely gives autonomy. No judgment, no oversight, no "why'd you buy that" conversations.
And for people with complicated histories like student loans, business debt, or even just trauma around money control, separate accounts can feel safer.
Totally. It's also protection in some cases. If there's ever a history of financial manipulation or imbalance, keeping accounts separate can be empowering.
But there's a catch. Separate systems can easily drift into financial secrecy.
Yeah, it's way easier to hide spending or debt when the other person has no visibility. And that's the real danger, not the autonomy, but the secrecy. When couples stop checking in, stop sharing big picture goals, it's basically two solo players pretending to be a team.
It can also make joint responsibilities messy. Who pays for the roof repair? Whose card do the groceries go on this week? That's where friction creeps in.
And resentment, too. If one partner feels like they're covering more or that the other is freeloading, that tension builds. So, separate works best for couples who are early stage, or where trust hasn't fully matured yet, or who truly want independence.
Exactly. It's not wrong. It's just higher maintenance. It demands extra coordination and a lot of emotional maturity to keep things transparent.
And that brings us to the model most experts now call the sweet spot, the hybrid system.
Ah, yes, the ours, mine, and yours setup.
Yep, one shared household account for bills, savings goals, rent or mortgage, and individual accounts for personal spending.
It's like a financial Venn diagram. You overlap where it matters, and you each have space where you don't.
That's a great way to put it. The shared account covers team stuff, groceries, utilities, vacations, future plans, and then each person keeps a private account for like hobbies or personal wants.
That system solves a ton of problems. It builds trust because both partners see the joint costs, but it also preserves freedom.
Exactly. And it's flexible. You can contribute equally or proportionally based on income.
Right. If one partner earns twice as much, they can contribute twice as much. That's fairness without guilt.
And by defining what's shared versus personal, you reduce day-to-day arguments, like no one's debating who paid for dinner or why someone splurged on concert tickets.
Plus, it reduces what planners call money friction. When bills are automated from that shared account, you stop nitpicking and start collaborating.
And the research backs it. The hybrid model consistently scores best across different types of couples. It balances transparency, autonomy, and fairness.
It's also adaptable. You can start hybrid, then move more joint as the relationship deepens, or keep it that way forever.
Yeah, it's not static. Financial structures evolve. A couple in their 20s might need autonomy. The same couple in their 40s might prefer simplicity.
That's a great point, because we treat money like a one-time decision. But just like love, it's an ongoing negotiation.
So to recap the big three. 1. Full merge. Total unity, but risk of imbalance. 2. Full separation, total independence, but risk of secrecy. 3. Hybrid. Balance of both with structure and transparency built in.
And the hybrid wins the popularity contest for good reason. It's practical and emotionally intelligent.
But here's the catch. Even the perfect system fails if the communication sucks.
Exactly. You can have a beautifully designed hybrid setup, but if you're not checking in or if one person treats the shared account like a suggestion box, it'll fall apart.
Honey, I thought the shared account was only for things we both emotionally agree on.
Oh, really? So the PlayStation counts, but the curtains don't?
Exactly. So, we're going to look at the psychology behind these money choices, why transparency feels threatening to some people, why autonomy feels like safety to others, and how couples can bridge that emotional gap.
Because it's not just math, it's mindset.
All right, we've talked about the how of money, joint, separate, hybrid. But let's get into the why. Why do people get so emotional about this stuff?
Because money isn't just math, it's meaning.
Exactly. Every dollar has a story, and in relationships, those stories collide.
You know, behavioral economists say that money decisions are really identity decisions. How you manage money says a lot about how you see yourself and your role in the relationship.
Yeah, like if you're the security type, you probably want clear systems, savings goals, spreadsheets, the whole fortress.
And if you're the freedom type, you want flexibility. You hate being told what you can or can't buy. You see a budget as a cage.
So basically, every couple has one spreadsheet person and one vibes person.
And both swear the other one's insane.
Yeah, and that's where most money fights start, not from the numbers, but from the motives behind them.
Exactly. One study even broke down these money motives: security, freedom, power, and status. If your motives don't align, it doesn't matter what account system you pick, you'll clash.
That's so true. Like if one partner equates shared accounts with trust, but the other equates it with control, they're having two completely different emotional experiences with the same system.
Right. To one person, merging money says we're united. To the other, it says I'm losing myself.
And neither person's wrong, they're just interpreting it through different lenses.
That's why experts recommend framing it as a joint experiment, not a permanent declaration. Like, hey, let's try this for 6 months and check in.
Yeah, that takes the fear out of it. You're not locking yourself into a system, you're learning what works for your relationship.
And that's the key word, relationship. Because money isn't neutral. It brings out every control issue, every insecurity, every childhood script about who's responsible.
Totally. Some people grew up watching their parents fight about money, so they associate financial conversations with conflict.
Yes. So when their partner says, let's talk about our budget, their body literally goes into fight or flight.
Or scroll or flight. Like, I'll deal with this after I check my emails for 2 hours.
Exactly. And on the flip side, if you grew up in a family where money was always tight, you might feel anxious unless everything's perfectly tracked and planned.
So for that person, separate accounts might feel unsafe, like they can't see the full picture.
Right. And for the other, joint accounts might feel threatening, like they're giving up autonomy.
So really, when couples argue about money, they're often arguing about control versus connection.
Oof, say that again.
Yeah, control versus connection. Some people want control to feel safe. Others want connection to feel safe. And money touches both.
That's why psychologically, the hybrid model is so powerful. It reduces that either-or tension. You can connect and stay autonomous.
Right. It gives both nervous systems something to hold on to. Transparency without surveillance, autonomy without isolation.
And it's not just about comfort, it's about behavior design. Behavioral economists call it friction design. Small defaults, like automatic transfers to a shared account, reduce the number of money fights because they take the emotion out of routine choices.
That's brilliant. Basically, if you automate the boring stuff, you save emotional energy for the big decisions, not who paid for the Wi-Fi.
Exactly. You want your emotional bandwidth for real life, not internet bills.
And that automation also creates trust cues. It's like, hey, I'm doing my part. You can count on me.
And the more consistent those cues are, the safer the relationship feels.
Which is wild because we think love is about grand gestures, but a lot of trust is built in small, predictable actions, like transferring your share to the joint account every payday.
Or just sending a text like, paid the utilities today. It's not sexy, but it's stabilizing.
Yeah, and stability, psychologically, is intimacy.
That's such a good line. I'm stealing that.
Go ahead, put it on a mug.
So, to sum it up, money isn't just a financial system. It's a mirror. It reflects your attachment style, your trust issues, your values, and your past.
Exactly. That's why financial planning for couples should come with couples therapy on the side.
And maybe a glass of wine.
Definitely that.
Coming up next, we're going practical. We'll walk you through what financial planners actually recommend step by step to set up a healthy, transparent, low-drama money system with your partner.
Yeah, the real-world playbook, from how to start the conversation to contribution rules to what to do if one person's hiding financial skeletons in the closet.
So far, we've talked about how to build a healthy money system as a couple. But what about when it starts to break down?
Yeah, because let's be honest, not every joint account story has a happy ending.
Nope. This is where love meets the fine print. Today we're talking about the red flags, the signs that your financial setup might be doing more harm than good.
The first, and probably most serious, is financial control. That's when one partner holds all the access, all the passwords, all the decision-making power.
Right. You'd be surprised how often it hides under the label of responsibility. Like, oh, I handle all the finances, it's just easier that way.
But if easier really means you don't get to see the accounts, or I decide what we can spend, that's not responsibility, that's control.
And that kind of control chips away at trust and autonomy. In extreme cases, it's actually considered financial abuse.
Exactly, and it doesn't just happen to people with less income. Sometimes the higher earner uses access as leverage, like, I make the money so I decide how it's used.
Which is the relationship equivalent of holding the debit card hostage.
Pretty much. So if you ever feel like you need permission to use shared money or you're being guilted for spending, that's a red flag.
If that's happening, talk to a counselor or financial advisor, preferably together if it's safe to do so, but if it's not, seek help independently. Financial control is emotional control with receipts.
Exactly. And the second big red flag, and this one's sneaky, financial infidelity.
Ah, yes, the secret accounts and hidden credit cards epidemic.
Yep. Studies show that about 1 in 3 people admit to keeping money secrets from their partner. And it's not always malicious, it's sometimes just shame or fear of judgment.
Right, but over time that secrecy corrodes trust faster than almost anything.
Exactly. You might think you're protecting your partner from stress, but what you're really doing is protecting yourself from accountability.
That's deep, because money secrecy isn't just about dollars, it's about honesty.
And the FEX is pretty simple, even if it's uncomfortable. Regular transparency. Even if you keep separate accounts, do monthly or quarterly check-ins, open the books, share updates.
Yeah, like here's what's coming in, here's what's going out, and here's what I'm worried about. No surprises, just honesty.
The third big red flag, and this one doesn't get talked about enough, is legal and estate planning neglect.
Oh yeah, everyone's like, we share everything, but then never update their wills or beneficiary.
Exactly. People assume that just because you have a joint account, everything automatically transfers to your partner, but that's not always true, especially if you're not married or you have kids from a previous relationship.
So in the worst cases, a partner can lose access to funds, property, even insurance benefits because no one handled the paperwork.
It's heartbreaking and totally preventable. A half hour with an estate planner or attorney can save years of stress later.
So to sum it up, the 3 biggest red flags are 1, financial control or coercion, 2, financial infidelity or secrecy, and 3, legal and planning neglect.
And the antidote to all of them is the same thing. Transparency, honest communication, and clear boundaries.
Right. You can have all the spreadsheets and systems in the world, but if honesty's missing, it'll still fall apart.
Exactly. And I think that's the emotional through line of all of this. Money doesn't just test trust, it reveals it.
Oof, that's good. Say that again?
Money doesn't just test trust, it reveals it.
Yeah, because when the stakes are high, the truth shows up in your spending, your saving, and your silence.
Beautifully put. So if you're listening and you feel tension around money, don't panic. Start with a conversation, not an accusation, a conversation.
Yep, ask, how do we want to handle money so we both feel safe and respected? That one sentence can change the entire dynamic.
And if you need help, get it. Financial planners, relationship counselors, or even apps that create transparency can be your allies. You don't have to figure it out alone.
Because love and money, they're not enemies. They just need good management.
And a little humility.
Always.
All right, after all those red flags, let's end on a lighter and more helpful note. Let's talk solutions.
Yes, please. We've terrified people enough. Let's save a few relationships today.
Exactly. So, for couples who want to manage money together without losing their sanity, there are actually some amazing tools out there.
Yeah, and not just apps, real frameworks and people who can help. Let's start with the digital side.
For budgeting and transparency, apps like YNAB, that's You Need a Budget, and Mint are great for couples who want shared visibility without micromanaging each other.
Yeah, you both log in, see what's happening, but you're not breathing down each other's financial necks.
Exactly. And if you prefer something simpler, a shared Google Sheet or Excel tracker works fine. The point isn't the app, it's the accountability.
Right, the moment you can both see where the money's going, half the tension disappears.
Then there's automation, the unsung hero of financial peace.
Seriously, set up automatic transfers to your shared household account, automate your bill payments, even automate savings if you can.
It's not just about convenience, it reduces what psychologists call decision fatigue. You make one smart choice once, and it keeps working for you every month.
Exactly. You stop having the same argument. Did you pay the rent? I thought you did. Because it's already handled.
Now, for couples who need a little more help, bring in the pros.
Yeah, certified financial planners are like relationship referees for your bank account. They'll help you figure out fair contribution rules, tax strategies, even retirement planning that works for both of you.
And if you find that money talks always get emotional, which is totally normal, a couples therapist who specializes in financial communication can work wonders.
It's like couples counseling meets financial literacy. Way cheaper than a divorce lawyer.
Facts. And if you just want to build habits on your own, set a monthly money date.
Yeah, grab a coffee or a bottle of wine, open your accounts, talk through how things are going. No blame, no lectures, just a vibe check.
Ask each other what went well this month, what's stressing us financially, what's a goal we can set for next month.
And celebrate the small wins, paying off a card, hitting a savings goal, even surviving a month without a money fight.
Because progress builds connection, and connection is what makes all this effort worth it.
So, whether you use spreadsheets, apps, or good old-fashioned trust, the best tool is still communication.
Exactly. Talk often, stay honest, and remember, money doesn't define your relationship. How you handle it together does.
Beautifully said.
Thanks.
Our wrap-up and final thoughts, the big takeaway from this whole conversation, what your financial setup really says about your relationship.
You won't want to miss this part.
You know, the more we talk about this, the more it hits me, money is just the surface. What we're really managing is trust.
Exactly. We think we're talking about bank accounts and budgets, but what we're really asking is, can I rely on you? Can I be honest with you? Can we build something together?
It's wild, right? Two people can make the same amount of money, use the same system, and still have completely different emotional experiences. One feeling trapped, the other feeling connected.
Because it's never just about the money. It's about meaning. When we share finances, we're really sharing values.
Yeah. Every bill paid, every savings transfer, it's a little promise. I'm in this with you.
And when that promise breaks, through secrecy or control, it's not just the finances that fall apart. It's the foundation of us.
That's why I think the healthiest couples aren't the ones who never argue about money. They're the ones who keep talking about it even when it's uncomfortable.
Yes, they turn money talks into love talks about dreams, security, independence, and fairness.
And they remember that merging money isn't about losing yourself. It's about choosing how to build a life together.
So whether you keep it joint, separate, or somewhere in between, the goal is the same: mutual respect.
Respect, honesty, and just enough grace to say, hey, we're figuring this out together.
I'm Lelaina Pierce.
And I'm Troy Dyer.
And this is The Love Divide.